CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales? Chappity chap chap, chappity chap chap, chappity chap chap chap. Howdy strangers, how you doing? Everybody good? I hope. Yes, so we are on, I don't even know what this is, 135 CHAP tales. God, we are gifted. And this takes us right into 2026. And we will decide what happens with the old CHAP tales, whether they deplete or whether they masquerade. Anyway, thought of this story, wondered why I hadn't thought of it before, because it is quite funny, and yes, let's have it. Okay, so we was about 18 and it was a summer's Saturday, and we went over to the heath like we did a lot, took a football, took a picnic, took an acoustic guitar, sitting behind the tennis courts on that green patch of grass there near Swains Lane, just all having a good old, do you know what I mean, strum on the guitar, sing song, having a game of headers and volleys, and eating a load of rubbish probably. Anyway, starts becoming like evening, you know what I mean, like 8-9 p.m. The sun's gonna start slowly going down, so we say to everyone, oh, so what we're doing is Saturday night, you know what I mean, like, and then everyone decided, there used to be a pub, it's actually back, this pub I'm going to talk about. It's a pub in Swains Lane called the Duke of St Albans, and it disappeared for quite a while, the building became a few different restaurants, but funnily enough, 2025 and it is back. The pub has turned back into a pub. So anyway, yeah, we was in the heath, we crossed the road and we went into the pub, ordered some pints. There's about 15 of us, I don't know, a load of boys, loads of girls, and we were just having a right laugh. So anyway, we're in the Duke of St Albans drinking, right, and then like there's some older lot from where we live that are like 5 years older than us, and a few of them and their mates came in. So we're all sitting there, like, and it's probably 10:30. Everyone's like, come on, let's get down the tally-o for the last hour, and then we can go over to the House of Fun in the Forum. And I was like, all right, sweet. And then so we was like, right, 15 of us, let's order some cabs. So needed 4 sherbets to take the 15 of us down the road. Anyway, the older lot been sitting there listening to us, what we're doing or whatever. I don't think they was very interested in going down the tally and over to the Forum, but they could see that we wanted to get cabs to get down to the tally-o like pronto, because if we walk it could take half hour, you know what I mean. So one of them, who was outside, comes inside and comes over and he's like, look people, £1 each and I'll take you down to the tally-o in my bus. We're like, in your bus? And he's like, yeah, it's parked outside. I was like, alright, sweet, anybody up for that? Now cabs probably would have been about £5 a cab, you know what I mean, so, and 4, but so you'd have been getting 25p off the charge of the, anyway, it was just proper funny to hear this person saying this, and we was all intrigued to find out what he meant about his bus. Thought we was going to go outside and there'd be like a Ford Transit minibus, like I was saying. So we went outside. When I got outside, I looked across to like the side of the road, if you like, and there's a C2 bus, a double-decker red bus sitting there, yeah. The front doors are open and he is there like he's taking us on some sort of trip, like he's like, right, let's go, pans as you go on. So everybody's like searching their pockets for change, and then everyone's getting on the bus and boom, putting a pound in his hand. So he's made £15 out of this, right? So he's like, I was like one of the last to get on. He's like, I might actually come into the Talio and have a pint with you. I was like, all right, nice one. So this is nuts, right? He don't know how to turn the lights on in the bus, so we're all in this pitch black bus, like, and he's just shut the door, got in the driver's seat behind that other little door they sit behind, turned the bus on, yeah, and the headlights and whatever, and boom, that's it. It's like pulling off and pulling out into Highgate Road, and we're all on this bus, but everybody's like half cut and everybody's going nuts on the bus, like it's in the dark, people are upstairs running around, he's driving the bus down the road, like, and he's going quite fast, and I was like, oh my god, what am I even doing on this bus? I shouldn't have got on this bus. So we're going down the road, and then we get to like the junction with Gordon Ass Road and whatever the other one's called. Anyway, so yeah, we're there, and he's like, right, so you lot are going to the Vine, yeah? We're like, no, not the Vine. Keep going past the Vine. We'll get off at that stop across the road from the Forum, yeah? He's like, all right, sweet. So he drove down, and then there's a stop like opposite the Forum, and he's just perfectly pulled up at the stop, boom, handbrake on or whatever, and he's like opened. He couldn't open the back door, so like the door you normally exit the bus on, so he's opened the front one again, and everyone's like piling out saying thank you and all that, like getting off. So I was like one of the last getting off, and I sort of looked at him and I sort of said, you coming in for a pint then? And then he's like, do you know what, I've been thinking about it, and if I just do one run down to Piccadilly and back, I might be able to make myself some dough. And I was like, are you for real? I was like, you're gonna do? He goes, I know this bus route like the back of my hand. I suppose everyone in Kentish Town probably did know that bus route, but like the back of their hand. But I was like, are you sure? And I was like, he's like, yeah, I'll be all right. I'll see you later on. I might pop in on the way past, on the way back. I was like, all right, sweet. So I jumped off the bus. So he's all off the bus. He's pressed whatever it is to shut the door, and then he's pulled out to the lights, like where the Bull and Gate pub is, and I've gone into the pub, like, and like half the people I was with didn't even realise what had just happened. They were so drunk, like they're just like all at the bar, like, Jack Daniels, Budweisers, come on, let's have it. And I'm like, I walked in and I was just like, I could not believe what had just happened, like, and I was like, oh my god, man, I hope, like, to tell you the truth, like, he weren't drunk whatsoever. He hadn't even had a drink, I don't think, and he was driving the bus perfectly like a bus driver would drive it, you know what I mean? Only thing is, like, back in them days, you used to pay with cash to get on the bus, you know what I mean? He wouldn't have had no change or nothing, so don't ask me what would have happened. So anyway, we carried on with our night, Talio till it shut. Probably had a bit of a lock-in because we knew the people down there, and then scooted over to the old Forum, done a bit of the old House of Fun, you know what I mean? Welcome to the House of Fun. That used to be amazing days. But obviously went back to Jamie Nicholas's house after the House of Fun, and then obviously home from there. And then, like, I had to tell my mum this story the next day. I had to, because it was just mental, like, and we had found out through a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend that this person, who I can't even remember his name, this person made it all the way to Regent Street, and somewhere around Damleys he got nicked. Oh my god, I'm just so happy that nothing, no accidents happened, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, god, but yeah, that's nuts. And to this day, I do not know, I don't have a clue where the bus driver was. and how the hell the bus could get all the way down to Regent Street, you know what I mean, before it gets pulled over by the old bill or whatever. Like, didn't the bus driver, I don't know if he'd gone in the pub to have a wee in the toilet, or I ain't got a clue, but yeah, nutty, mate. And oh, don't. Okay, so that was another chappy tale. This one might be the last one for a while, because I just, do you know what I mean, it's just hard to keep thinking of these stories, these Jack and Jories. Yeah, but there's 135 of them for you to go back and have a listen to some of them over. Yeah, there's some right good ones in there, especially the ones like that have like famous people in them, like Noel and Liam Gallagher. So yeah, go back and have a listen, because do you know what I mean? Yeah, sweet, nice one. Thank you for listening. That is great. And 2026, let's hope that I can think of a new idea for videos, you know what I mean? I've got this little CHAP live thing coming up where I'm gonna actually start shooting a bit of video, and playing some of my songs and things like that. But yeah, nice one. So please like, subscribe, smash bells, and comment. Ask me what you want, except for the name of the bus driver, because I ain't got a Danny. I have not got a Danny who it was. All I know, it was quite a funny trip. Alright, nice one. Speak soon.
Chap tales. Don't you wanna hear some chap tales?